My next guest says the U.S. economy is headed for the way of Greece, and that soon we're going to be spending ourselves into oblivion, thanks to recent proposals, though, from congressmen, like Paul Ryan and Ron Paul. There's finally some movement on the budget slashing front. But in his brand new special, The Money Hole, John Stossel gives new meaning to cutting the budget, literally.
Really?
Oh, man. And joining me now to discuss his new documentary, the host of Stossel on the Fox Business Network, the one and only John Stossel. How are you?
Thank you,
brought
Sean.
This, what is this, the Hannity Chainsaw Massacre here? That's not for me.
It's going to be, if we don't make reasonable cuts to the budget, we will have to take a chainsaw to it, and that's nasty for everybody.
You see, that's the point. We're going to hit a point where we have no choice. Did you see what China's remarks were? We are already in default. The IMF predicting that China is going to surpass our economy in 5 years. Moody's again predicting in the last week that they're going to downgrade our AAA bond rating.
All that's terrible, except the part, if China surpasses us, I'm okay with that. If they succeed peacefully, that just gives us more outlets to sell things to. Let them prosper, we can prosper too. I don't care who's first.
All right, now, you brought this, what is you're obviously making a point. It's that we're going to have to cut eventually. Why not do it now when it'll be less painful?
Right, and Medicare is just totally unsustainable. There are too many people my age who want to retire and rudely keep wanting to live longer and have cool pills to make our future better, cure our cancer, and it can't be paid for. And so we need to make adjustments now, but whenever the politicians try, they get hammered, except in Canada, where a liberal government cut, and they solved the problem.
Look at what Barack Obama said about Paul Ryan. Ryan wants to have kids with autism, Down syndrome, and old people, quote, fend for themselves. Now, this is a guy that cut $500 billion in Medicare to pay for his, new entitlement program known as Obamacare.
Did he say that?
Yes.
Well, that's nasty. Ryan doesn't.
Yeah.
But Ryan's cuts are reasonable. Even Ryan's cuts don't balance the budget.
No, it's for 24 years. I want it to be a little quicker, but look, he's been excoriated even for that proposal.
And in my special, we'll show you what happens when a town runs out of money, because America can print money, so we won't run out of money. But they'll just print so much that they'll give you money. Here, offer this to your doctor.
Meaningless.
The doctor will say, I can't buy a loaf of bread with this.
Yeah.
What good is that?
Now, are you planning on cutting these papers?
Well, it's just you asked me to bring my crop. It's not the way to balance the budget with a chainsaw. Reporters shouldn't be trusted with chainsaws, but this is what's going to happen. I mean, we're 10 years away from Greek levels of debt at the rate we're going now, and any little cut, they say, no, you can't cut that.
What do you think's happened? Because it seems that the country's torn in two places. Because people like, it's a right to have health care. No, it's not a constitutional right to have health care. How did we survive all these years without Obamacare? The people want retirement, but now old people have to work longer, and young people can't even get into the marketplace to get a job.
Well, these retirement plans were built, Social Security, when most people didn't even live to age 65. And now, look, we've been promised this. It's reasonable. The people who are on Medicare and who get angry at me when I say this, they say, I put in my whole life. It was deducted from my paycheck. But they're not aware that they're getting back about 3 times as much on average as they put in. And that's not going to work.
Everybody that I've talked to in Washington, I said, all right, my working life started at 12 when I was scrubbing pots and pans in the Norwood Inn in West Hempstead, Long Island, and tending bar and waiting tables and hanging wallpaper and painting and laying tile and building houses and reconstruction. I did all that all these years, and I paid into Social Security my entire life, John. And, now because I've saved some money, I want my money back. Because they promised that it was going to be there, and now I'm told we're going to means test it, and we're also going to raise the retirement age. So probably like 3 days before I die, I'll get 5 cents back.
Tough. Deal with it. We have to means test it. We have to raise the retirement age. So the government will legally, think about this though, government will legally steal people's money. They legally steal people's money all the time. And
does it make it right?
No, it is wrong, but the only practical measure is to raise the retirement age. I mean,
I agree. I'll accept
give you
it.
your money back till you get back what you paid in, and then those of us who are wealthy, we can afford to pay people who won't have.
I believe in a safety net. All right, we're going to have one more setup for your special. Let's air this right now if we can.
Why are we not in the budget? You know,
This woman's angry because her husband worked for the city of Pritchard, Alabama for 32 years. He held up his end of the bargain, but the city hasn't sent him a pension check now for more than a year. The city council says, we don't have the money. In 2003, an accountant warned the town, you will run out of money by 2009. The politicians then did nothing, as they admit today.
nothing never changed. Nothing never was accomplished.
Right on schedule in 2009, the town went broke. So politicians declared bankruptcy and just stopped sending pension checks to retired city employees. More than 100 of them. They thought they'd get the retirement checks they'd been promised, but they didn't.
Now, that can't happen federally because they'll print the money.
The feds could
but it
print
might
money.
but it might be worthless.
It might be the equivalent, that they give you the money and nobody wants the money because they had to print. So they would have to print 3 times as much money to value the currency to pay for what they promised now.
All right, we'll be watching. Thanks, John. Great
Thank
report.
you, Sean.